All right, Shalom. I'll start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Arachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations unto the four elect tabernacle of David scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. And I just want to make a quick response video / lesson to the lesson done by the elder Manat Zagba, GMS, South Carolina, 08, addressing live comments, William Bell and Preterism. And I remember covering this topic, years ago. This is when the guy William Bell, I used to call him William Bell Pepperhead. He was challenging the Israelites, based on this doctrine that, a lot of the stuff that we teach hasn't been fulfilled yet. Preterism teaches that it's already been fulfilled by 70 AD, including, the writings in the book of Revelation. All right, that even a lot of the prophecies in the book of Revelation have already came to pass by 70 AD. And that's a very bugged out doctrine. It's totally an error. And you got to be careful when you hear these different guys who call themselves scholars, these Christian Bible teachers with so-called credentials. They call themselves doctor this, doctor that. You got to stand clear of those type of individuals. You got, be studious, like the scriptures say. Study to show thyself approved to the Most High. All right, be like the Church of Berea, searching the scriptures to see if it is so. All right. So, you can actually, look up what it means. And it's, going into the eschatology and the fulfillment of scripture. But they actually say that all things were fulfilled by 70 AD. Now you got full preterism, which basically everything from Genesis to Revelation is already fulfilled already. So, you might as well just, put the book down and because we're already in the kingdom already. The Lord already returned. Israel already done gotten saved. You know what I'm saying? But that's a doctrine of the devil, because there's still plenty of things that has not been fulfilled, contained both in the New and in the Old Testament. The things that were fulfilled were the things that was prophesied for Yahweh Shai to come and do upon his first incarnation. All right. Well, not his first incarnation, but basically when he came as the Messiah, Hamashiach. All right. When he was born to Mary and Joseph, that whole walk and his mission, everything that the scriptures foretold was fulfilled when he came. All right. Concerning him. Matter of fact, let me get Matthew 5 and 17 first. Matthew 5 and 17, it says, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law of the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled." So everything that was contained in the law concerning Yahweh Shai, that the wicked scribes and Pharisees, those who were blinded and couldn't really see, they didn't see Yahweh Shai being a fulfillment of, Deuteronomy 18:15 and Genesis 49, Isaiah 53, all those different scriptures that prophesied, Psalms, this 22nd chapter. They couldn't see it. And none of those things were going to pass from the law until it was all going to be fulfilled by the Hamashiach's sacrifice, him dying on that cross. So those things had to happen in order for it to be fulfilled. All right. And that's why when he was on the cross, he said, "This is it." Because he came and he fulfilled his course. All right. He fulfilled everything that was pertaining to his coming. All right. It says, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So let me go from there to Luke 24 real quick. There's Luke 24. And I'm gonna start at verse 38. And this is after the Lord's resurrection and his reappearance, after the crucifixion, when he, came back and appeared to his disciples. This is Luke 24 and 38. It says, and he said unto them, why are you troubled? And why do thoughts arise in your hearts? Behold my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Handle me and see, for a spirit have not flesh and bones as you see me have. And when he had thus spoken, he shewed them his hands and his feet. And while they yet believed not for joy and wondered, he said unto them, have ye here any meat? And they gave him a piece of broiled fish and of an honeycomb, showing that the Lord ate meat. For you vegans out there, all right, pushing that vegan doctrine in Israel, even the Lord ate flesh. Luke 24 and 43, it says, and he took it and did eat before them. And he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled which were written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me. All right. Concerning what? Concerning his sacrifice, concerning how he was going to be slandered, humiliated. They was going to bear false witness. They was having these secret meetings, how they were going to, twist his words, so that they can accuse him. How his soul wasn't going to be left in the grave. Psalm 16, he would not be, his soul would not be left in hell. Well, he wasn't left in the hell because his body was gone when Mary came to the tomb and saw that his body wasn't there. So that was all, fulfilled. Isaiah 53, that was fulfilled. Not that, the resurrection, of the dead in a Mashiach rising before they get it caught up into the ship, that wasn't fulfilled. And the prophecy of the elect going up in the cloud, that's all throughout the Old and New Testament. So that's an example that has not been fulfilled. Just the things concerning his first coming, that all was going to be fulfilled. Full preterists believe that everything, even the Messiah returning in the ship, all right, and taking down the nations, that's already been fulfilled. That has not, there's nothing documented that substantiates that proves that. All right. All this turmoil, all this tribulation on the earth. How could everything be fulfilled? So I want to bring that out, and now let's go to an example, right? Because even Apostle Paul was giving warning about men preaching false doctrine in a church, and men that was doing that, it was like it was causing, it was basically it was starting to spread throughout the church. People started to believe in certain things that was being murmured, and it started to become a thing where people started to get led away in the error of seducing spirits, men teaching doctrines of devils. That's why he was constantly giving warning to the churches to avoid them that cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine. We all supposed to speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among us. So let me get this real quick in 1 Timothy First Timothy 1. Here we go. There's First Timothy 1 and 18, it says, "This charge I commit unto thee, son Timothy, according to the prophecies which went before on thee, that thou by them mightest war a good warfare, holding faith and a good conscience, which some having put away concerning faith have made shipwreck, of whom is Hymenaeus and Alexander," and his name come up twice, "whom I have delivered unto Satan, that they may learn not to blaspheme." Now, what were, they were teaching? Let me go to, hold up. Here we go. 2 Timothy 2. Yeah, 2 Timothy 2, and I'm going to start at 15. It says, "Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. And their word will eat as doeth a canker," like a sore that, it's like a cancer that spreads, right? "Of whom is Hymenaeus and Philetus, who concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already." And you could put full preterism in the same boat, because that would mean that the resurrection of the dead in a Mashiach Yahushai, the brothers and sisters that had died in the Lord, the brothers that's going to be martyred, they already then came out of the graves already and went up into the ship. That's literally what full preterism mean. Everything fulfilled, and that's not true. So they was teaching a similar doctrine like that in the church, and that's why Timothy had to be warned, and Paul had to highlight who these individuals were that was teaching that. All right, don't let individuals like that linger around the church. All right, you curse them because they're coming with a whole nother gospel, and you get them out of the way, man, and let Satan work on those type of individuals. And we've seen that in the past, a lot of dudes that left the camp or got kicked out because they were starting to teach another doctrine. We watched the progression. Them dudes start to wax darker and darker. Them increase of demons. Satan started operating on dudes, and they started waxing worse and worse. Happened to a lot of dudes who got outcasted, man. So that was what was happening with these guys, man. It says, "Who concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrow the faith of some." Because it's like, if you teach that, then there's no hope. If everything already happened, and we got the scriptures for our comfort and hope, and you saying that these things already happened, then what are we to hope for then? You're taking away our comfort. You're going to cause me to lose faith if you teaching that everything was already fulfilled already. What? That's satanic. But if you believe that, then you one of those who the Lord is not going to save. You're not of the Lord's elect, man. You got taken by that strange woman. You got taken down into that deep pit. Down into hell, man. So anyway, that's just an example now to prove, like, for example, Revelation. They'll say that even Revelation was fulfilled, right? Now, Matthew 24th chapter that we always go into, a lot of that was actually fulfilled by 70 AD. All right, like when the Lord basically told them that Jerusalem will be compassed with armies, we know that that was talking about the siege of Jerusalem 70 AD. When he told them basically don't take anything, basically leave everything and flee, flee into the mountains. That happened. All right. You talk about Jake being persecuted, betrayed, so on and so forth. Yeah, those things were happening. Christians back then, they were being persecuted. All right, all that did happen. A lot of Matthew the 24th chapter happened. All right, but it was also setting the precedent for what was going to happen in this time. Okay, because the Lord said that it was going to be what? Earthquakes in diverse places. That's what we're seeing right now. That there's going to be nation rising against nation, wars and rumors of wars. That's happening now. Otherwise, we'd already be in the kingdom, because in the kingdom, there won't be any more wars. So in Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, has that been fulfilled yet? It said that nation shall not lift up sword and they shall not learn war anymore. So why is there still war if everything's been fulfilled? So it's a doctrine of the devil, man. And I believe the Jesuits is who came up with that doctrine. Let me see something. Yeah, Luis de Alcazar. All right, he was a Jesuit priest. Yeah, this is the guy right here, man. So you see, it's a doctrine of the devil, because you had a Spanish Jesuit theologian who came up with it. Let me see something. He is known for his Vestigatio Arcani Census and Apocalypse 1614, published after his death, putting forward what would later be called a preterist view of biblical prophecy and commentary of the book of Revelation. His work is regarded as the first major application of the method of interpretation of prophecy by reading in terms of the author's contemporary concerns. His view is that everything in the Apocalypse or Revelation, apart from the 3 final chapters, refer to events that had already come to pass when John of Patmos was writing. Like, how? And basically what he's saying is it was already completed by 70 AD. So what was John John the Revelator? Why would he write something that already happened? You know, him addressing the churches, the 7 churches, that's one thing, but the actual prophecies. And so it's off. Now, you can prove that everything that John wrote in prophecy was after, because he wasn't banished to the Isle of Patmos until the time of Domitian. When was Domitian the emperor of the final emperor of Rome before it shifted to Jake, taking over the Roman Empire? Domitian was around during, let me see, I want to say 96 AD. Domitian. All right, from October 24, 51 to September 1896 AD was Roman emperor from 81 to 96 AD. So this is after 70 AD. All right. And he was the one who banished John the Revelator. Let me see if they even mentions that in here. He was the last of the Flavian dynasty. You had Titus, Vespasian, and Domitian. And I believe Domitian and Titus were brothers, and Vespasian was their father, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, bear with me. This what it say here? It says 4th century writings by Eusebius maintain that Jews and Christians were heavily persecuted toward the end of Domitian's reign. The book of Revelation and first epistle of Clement are thought by some to have been written during this period, the latter making mention of sudden and repeated misfortunes, which are assumed to refer to persecutions under Domitian. Although Jews were heavily taxed, no contemporary authors gave specific details of trials or executions based on religious offenses other than those within the Roman religion. Suetonius mentions having seen in his youth a non-Agonarian being stripped by a procurator to see if he was circumcised. So, I don't. It doesn't mention it, but he was under his reign. You had Christians being deported. It says it is believed that John and Mary came to Ephesus and that John became the leader of the church of Ephesus. Eventually, he was captured in a persecution campaign by the Roman Emperor Domitian and was ultimately banished to Patmos, Revelation 1 and 9 through 10 in 95 AD. So, hey, that would sound about right around that time frame. Okay, somewhere in the 90s AD when he got sent there. All right. When you go here real quick, and I'm gonna close out in a minute. When he mentions a martyr, all right, who went down for this thing, and you go into the history about how he got, persecuted. He was tormented before he, was put to death. All right, his name was Antipas. Yeah, Revelation 2 and 13, it says, I know thy works and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. And thou holdest fast my name and hast not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you where Satan dwelleth. All right, and let me go here real quick. Antipas, like the father, a Christian of Pergamos who suffered martyrdom. So the fact that he mentions him, now somebody's students would be like, well, when was he on the scene? Around what time frame, right? Antipas of Pergamum. And it says, quick facts, died 92 AD. And his cause of death, the brazen bull, All right. And you can look this up. You can read about it. I've done lessons on it. Other brothers have. You know, that was a torturing method for people that didn't believe in, Asclepian, and, the other deities that they were worshiping. If you was a Christian, you was getting persecuted. And they was some of the Christians that they persecuted, they would put in that brazen bull, put you in this bull made of brass, and they would light it on fire from the bottom and torment you that way, cook you up in there. And you'll see the smoke coming out of the nostrils, and the people that's in there that's tormented by the flame, they will scream in agony, and it will cause like an echo noise. So it sounds like it looks like a live bull, like it's alive, and the smoke is coming through his nose and it's making noises, but there's somebody in there getting cooked. That's how they took out Antipas. Okay. And this was according to certain sources, this is in the early 90s AD. So if John mentions this man, then you had to have known that this was sometime after that. So this is definitely over 20 years after the siege of Jerusalem when he wrote these. All right. So that would mean that everything was not fulfilled according to the apocalypse by 70 AD. So that's completely off. Okay. So I think that's it. Revelation 1:1, the revelation of Yahushua Mashiach, which the Most High gave unto him to shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. So things that's going to happen. And this is when he's writing this is over 20 years after 70 AD. So preterism is not true. All right. Now, if you teach impartial preterism, there is a little bit of truth to it. Like when they talk about Matthew the 24th chapter. All right, portions of that was fulfilled by 70 AD. Okay. And he sent and signified it by angel unto his servant John. All right. So that's pretty much that, man. I'm just responding to this video that the elder did, and I hope you brothers and you few sisters were edified. Call Allah Yahbashim Shai. Shalom.